afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us for this informative session, especially for Azusa Pacific University. And I know many of you are interested to apply for the ETF program, and which is affiliated with Azusa University, Azusa Pacific University. So today we invite the professors from the APU and also alumni and our current grantee who is attending this program to share their experience and information for all of you. And for those who cannot join this session concurrently, we will record it and share this clip afterwards. Okay, so we will have two parts of today's session. The first part, we will do a presentation, and the second part, we will open for Q&A, all right? When we start, I'd like to invite Professor Mary Wang and Professor Tasha Princeton to present this cooperations with Fulbright, between Fulbright and the APU since last year. Yeah, let's welcome Mary and Tasha.
Thank you so much, Kelly. We're so glad to be here. So we have prepared a few slides, probably too many, about the program. And we will just give a brief overview. So together, FSE and APU are offering $8,250 in scholarship for those who join the MA program. And we'll go into what that looks like, but it would start as early as this May with an online class, and then have an in-person class this summer as well, and continue on for an online program. Probably the highlight of our session will be hearing from some of our current and our alum, Elena, current students and an alum. But we'll introduce ourselves first. So I am Dr. Tasha Bleistein. I direct our TESOL programs at Azusa Pacific University. And
hi, I am Mary Wong. And right, it's really great to be here and to be able to share our enthusiasm about helping English teachers in Taiwan. We just love to be able to have this relationship with you guys, and we want to let you know that we're open for any questions you might have about the program or what it means. And we have another professor, his picture is right there, Dr. Rich Robison. He has recently retired, but he's still teaching in our program. He just loves teaching pronunciation, second language acquisition, and those are some of the courses he'll be teaching.
And this one's for you too, Mary.
Okay, all right, Tasha, I'll keep going. Okay, so yeah, our program has been around for a long time. Actually, in '86 is when it started, and we have over 700 alumni from our TESOL program. So I've been around for a while. In fact, both Tasha and I are alumni from the program ourselves, which is kind of interesting. We have faculty who have a lot of international experience. Tasha, for example, taught in China for 9 years. We also have a lot of scholarship that we've done in the area. We have some interesting courses, such as using technology to teach, as well as some other things. And we have, as you know, we have an online program, right? And we launched ours pretty early in 2008, and it's asynchronous, meaning we don't have to be online at the same time. And this allows for us to be in different time zones and to be able to come in and check in with everyone. We do have a lot of discussions and we interact a lot online, but we don't have to all be online at the same time.
Thanks, Mary. So here are the names of the courses that we offer. The two that are starred there are TESOL 545, Second Language Pedagogy 1, and Reflective Teaching, and those earn the TEFL certificate. So it's possible for students to take only the 2 classes and earn the TEFL certificate. They are part of the entire MA, where you would go on and take other classes like how to teach grammar, or how to design an entire class or program, assessment, technology, all of the different aspects of teaching English that you would need. The whole master's degree is 11 courses. Mary, would you like to do this one?
Okay, there's a lot of benefits through this specific program. Obviously, it allows you to teach full time while you're getting a TEFL certificate, and we hope you'll stay in for also a complete master's degree. So you can be teaching full time while concurrently studying. So it really makes we love that type of a program because you can apply what you're learning immediately in your context. And also provides ETFs with ongoing professional development. We think it promotes quality teaching by ETFs, right? And it also could increase your pay, right? If you get the certificate or the master's degree. We also have additional scholarships, and you can apply for these actually every semester. We have scholarships that are $500, $1,000, and $2,000. You can actually get each semester on top of the scholarship we're already offering.
Thanks. Now, before we get into some of the details of the program, we thought it would be nice to hear from one of our alum, Elena Apuk, and then 2 of our current students. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and allow them to share a little bit about the program and their experience in it. So let's begin with Elena.
Hello, everyone. It's really a pleasure to be invited to be able to speak on this topic. I am a current advisor with Fulbright, and I'm in Kaohsiung for this year. And just like what was mentioned earlier, I am an alumni of the program. So I did it when I was in person. So I didn't do it online like how Annie and Jordan are doing it now. So I will talk just a bit briefly about my experience. But for me, I would say kind of the main reason I'm really happy I chose APU is because of the community, and that includes the students that I was with, but also the professors. We're all teachers right now, and I mean, we can all agree that rapport and relationship is such a key part to what we do as teachers. And effective learning does come through, having rapport and relationship with our students. And I would say that the professors that I studied with, and I'm not saying this because they're here right now, I really mean this, but they did care about who I was as a person. They were willing to really walk alongside me as I was developing in my teaching. They go beyond just, knowledge of the field, but really care about you holistically. So I think that's something that I experience and is something that is really hard to find, I think, as people are, busy. There's a lot of requirements, a lot of work expectations, but I can assure you that you will not just feel like a person in the program. You will, or not just a number in the program, but you would really be treated like a person that is cared about. So that's one point I wanted to mention that's special to APU. The second thing I'm kind of thinking about is I have talked to some grantees about the program, and I think a concern that many people have is they're not quite sure that they want to be English teachers, right? They're not really kind of bought into this idea of English language teaching, so that's why they're a bit afraid to commit to a master's in TESOL. I think that's completely valid because this is not something lightly that you should do. It will take a lot of commitment, and I'm sure Jordan and Annie will talk about that as well. But what I realized with this program, especially being a graduate of it, is that you're not locked into being an English teacher. I mean, of course, that's a big career opportunity, but there are other possible avenues that can open up. For example, this program prepares you to be a better teacher in general, of course, through the medium of using English, but there's content-based kind of teaching that you can be a part of, CLIL, EMI, international education, or maybe some educational administration or management. And so I think for those people who are considering the program that are not quite sure what their future will look like, I don't want those people to think they're locked into English teaching. I mean, that's one part of it, but there are other opportunities that this program can open up. And so, yeah, I don't want anyone to feel hesitant that, you know, they don't want to commit to this because they're just not quite sure. For me, I figured it out after I graduated. And also I realized, you know, there are a lot of opportunities out there, but sometimes it just takes time to know what those are. And so that's kind of the two senses that I wanted to contribute. Now I'll hand it over to Jordan and Annie, who could tell you more about the day-to-day and what is it like to be an ETF while doing a full-time program.
Thanks, Elena. Do you want to start us off, Jordan? And then we'll go to Annie after I see Annie offering that.
Yeah, okay, that sounds great. Well, first of all, thank you all so much for hosting this this presentation. I think this is a really amazing opportunity. I remember being a grantee watching this last year, and I was taking all these notes, and wow, I'm very thankful a year later to be looking back and that I applied and that I'm in the program now. And at the time when I applied, I was thinking, wow, this program looks like it has some really good benefits long term, kind of like Elena mentioned, for equipping me for maybe different careers in the future. Not exactly sure whether it will be an English teacher in this context or a teacher in this context, but equipping me. And it also seemed to have a lot of short-term benefits for being an ETF. So I'm currently in my third year as an ETF, and I already know that this year, in terms of interactions with LETs, with the students, with even engaging in the community, has been much more enriched because of this program. For example, in terms of the classroom, obviously, I can take what I learned from the classroom and talk about it in the program, in the class that I'm taking online through APU, and get feedback from other students. And it really shapes and molds how then I try the next week's lesson plan and things like that. Vice versa, I can take what Dr. Wong talked about from the APU class and apply it directly into the school setting here. So I think those are mutually enriching. In terms of LETs, I've found that, wow, I can talk with my co-teachers about what I'm learning in the APU class, and we both have better ideas for our lesson plans, and it influences how we make the tests for the students or how we write lesson plans. And furthermore, we had Dr. Wong's intercultural communication class last semester, and that not only took up a notch my engagement in the community here in Taiwan locally, but even just in the school setting, it gave me new perspectives and new tools to approach how to talk about cultural context in the classroom. And that was really great. So not only the English teaching, but talking about local issues or local cultural contexts in the classroom. So those are just a few of the ways that the program has really enriched my ETF experience, and how I think my ETF experience has enriched my experience as a student. So that's just a little bit of my experience, and I'm looking forward to the next year, because I'm in the first year now of the program, and I'm really looking forward to the next year of it too. So I guess I'll pass it on to Annie.
So much, Jordan.
Thanks for sharing, Jordan. Can you hear me okay? Okay, good. It's still kind of lunchtime over here, so my apologies for any extra noise. But also, just like Jordan said, thank you very much for having this presentation ready, and for also recording this session for our current grantees, and for those few grantees who are watching either simultaneously or later. Thank you for tuning in. I agree with Jordan that this program with APU is like kind of a mutual application opportunity of what we're learning, both as a student and as a teacher, and as well as with the community engagement too. I didn't really think about that beforehand. I always thought of more like professional development or pedagogical development, but I also really got to engage more with my community and my neighbors. So I taught a lesson to some of my neighbors' children, and then I even interviewed a neighbor, and I wouldn't have been like encouraged to do that otherwise. And also facilitated some like kind of brief interactions I had. I kind of got to expand those and have like closer relationships with people who I've met here in Taiwan. And then I really do like the asynchronous setting. I think that's what makes it really like convenient for us as ETFs, especially since we can also interact with our other classmates back in the States or everywhere else in the world, wherever they are studying or living at the moment. So we share a lot of different ideas from current English teachers who have been teaching for many years, as well as those like Jordan and myself, who this is like we're in our first couple of years of actual English teaching. So it's really nice to have that community, like Elena mentioned. So I have not met some of our classmates in person, but I feel like I'm already like really close to them just from our like exchanges online. Some other things, I know this is quite an investment of time, etc., because it does ask you can have to stay 2 additional years in Taiwan, which for me is not a problem. I wasn't really too interested on leaving Taiwan, so this is why I was really, really excited that the timing was perfect, that I could sign up for this program a year ago. And then also in terms of like what I'm learning from this program, I've been able to share it with current ETAs and other ETFs, especially at conferences and so on. So I'm really like very excited that I can like share what I'm learning with others, other grantees who are considering this program, and also just to let them know that there is this opportunity, because otherwise, without this opportunity, I probably would have just had to go back to the States and get my graduate degree there. But by having this program, I get to stay in Taiwan and I get to interact with the community more and just develop as a person, as a teacher, and as a student. So thank you so much.
Thank you. It's so wonderful hearing from the 3 of you. And during the question and answer time, I have a feeling a lot of the questions will be for the 3 of you. We'll go back to the presentation and talk a little bit more about the program. So we wanted to talk about the 3 co-requisites that we have as part of the program, and then also some general requirements. Mary, I think originally this was your slide. Would you like to do it?
Sure. All right. Yeah, these co-requisites, we call them a co-requisite, meaning that you can complete these anytime during, the year or 2 that you're in the program. You just need to complete them before you graduate. And the first one is foreign language study. If you are studying Mandarin right where you are, that's all you need to do. And what you're going to do is well, if you've already taken an official foreign language course, you can submit your transcripts. And if you got a B or better within the last 2 years in a foreign language, that would suffice. But most people, they want to learn the language of the place where they're teaching, and we really want to encourage that. And we have a really simple form in which you just do an oral interview with maybe your mentor or your tutor, and you are asked to for 10 minutes record yourself speaking with them, and you're supposed to be at the low intermediate level. So maybe you can ask some questions, you can understand what they are doing, and that oral interview that you complete with them would satisfy them after you do some tutoring. So that's the foreign language co-requisite. The other co-requisite, maybe, is there another? Go back a page, or, oh, here it is. This is for the conference. And we want you to go to a conference sometime during the 2 years you're in the program. There are so many options. Tasha and I are going to be in Florida in 2-3 weeks at the big TESOL convention. So there's the big TESOL convention in the United States, but there's so many in Thailand. I mean, in Taiwan as well. Also in Thailand, there's a big Thailand TESOL conference. You have lots of opportunities. There are also some conferences online you can go to. There's even the online TESOL conference. I'm actually presenting in that as well. So all you have to do is sign up for the conference. You go to the conference, and then you give us your receipt that you went to the conference, and explain a little bit about what you did. We also have a travel award. If you're presenting, you can get $500 if you apply and get this as a presenter to help you pay for some of the fees of these conferences. And then there's one more prerequisite, and that is called the portfolio. We do this instead of a thesis. No thesis. Isn't that good news? And we do this instead of a comprehensive exam. Oh, good. More good news. Oh, my goodness. The comprehensive exam was so terrible. So many students would just break down and cry. We thought, we can't do this anymore. So now we have this wonderful portfolio, and your own time, you spend time just kind of demonstrating that you have accomplished the 10 learning outcomes of the program. And I'm actually teaching the course right now on helping students find the artifacts that you upload to demonstrate competence in these learning outcomes. And the things that you upload to demonstrate that are actual artifacts and assignments from the courses you're taking. So it's not a big deal. It's kind of fun to say, hey, I can do all these things, and here's the proof. Anyways, and that's part of the last course you take called the TESOL portfolio course, TESOL 580. That's it.
I wanted to talk, as Alina mentioned, some of you might be thinking, okay, what can I do if I get a master's in TESOL? And so here at the top, we have some of the common jobs that our graduates get. So teaching ESL in community colleges and university intensive English programs is probably the most common. There's a real need right now in the California community college system, especially. So we see a lot of our graduates getting good jobs in the community college system. You can work with international student support or study abroad systems within universities. You can work in the K through 12 system. You can earn a doctorate and enter teacher training. We have other graduates who worked at textbook companies or worked with the State Department in different roles or become curriculum developers. And we want to introduce you to a few of our graduates. We have so many amazing, we have 700, and there's so many good graduates that we could have chosen, but we chose just a few. The first one there, James Stabler Havner, he directs the ESL program at Fordham University. Song Hong has a full-time position at a community college in Southern California, and she's the director of the California TESOL Association, or the president this year. She was elected as the president. Myra Molina is a dual immersion, Spanish and English K through 12 teacher. She also completed a Fulbright after she graduated from our program in Finland. Jennifer Hiroshiki also graduated from our program. She works in faculty governance at UCLA and continues to use her TESOL skills. She just applied for a U.S.A. grant, partly because of what she's done through TESOL. Tamara Roos is an assistant professor in the Cal State system at San Bernardino, teaching TESOL now as a professor. Greg Bach is a professor of philosophy and religion at a university in Texas. And Jennifer Hoosier, another one of our graduates, directs the intensive English program at Kennesaw State University in Atlanta, Georgia. So that's just a picture of some of our actual graduates and what they're doing. We could have chosen so many others, like Elena, our wonderful graduate, and what she's doing. We really love our students, and we love our alum and what they're doing. You might be wondering, how much does it cost? The MA TESOL is 33 units. Total, it's $596 per unit right now. It will go up by $4 next year, next academic year. There's 750 scholarship for each course. So that means that each course is a $1,050. And again, you are eligible to apply for the 3 in-house scholarships that we have. So you could reduce that amount. If you were to do just the TEFL certificate program, it's $3,000, a little over $3,000. If you went on to do the entire MA program without any of the additional scholarships, it would be $11,500. And you can see how the course schedule would look and some information there. This is probably too much to read through, but if you want the slides from this presentation, we can share them and you can look at it, or you can reach out to us and we will send an overview document that talks about the program. To apply for the program, Mary, do you want to tell them what they would need?
Right. We try to make this as easy as possible. So because we already know that you guys are with Fulbright, we are very excited about that, and that makes it so we can actually waive some of these requirements. You do have to have a bachelor's degree from a regionally accredited college or university, right? And you have to have a minimum of a 3.0 GPA on a 4.0 scale. Below that, you can be admitted provisionally. We can tell you more about that if that's the case. You would send your transcripts to this link here. And oh, good, this is the page I wanted. Okay, so the person that you want to talk to, her name is Janice. She's actually also in the program. She works for APU in admissions, but she got so excited about our program that she joined it. So actually she knows a lot about it, but she will be the one who will help you through the whole admissions process. And it's important for you to talk to her because she'll make sure that you don't have to pay the $45 for the application fee. So we can magically waive that. Here's the secret code, TESOL 24. All right, that word's worth $45. All right, we do need to see your official transcripts. And so that can kind of take a while. So, be sure that you contact the universities and ask them to send the transcripts. Actually, they should be able to do it within a week or so, but we could accept unofficial transcripts and admit you provisionally, but we'd like to see that you send those. You have to send the official ones eventually. You also want just write a statement of purpose, kind of what are your goals and why are you applying to the program? Include a resume or a CV and 2 letters of recommendation. But as we said before, because of your background with Fulbright, we can waive those letters of recommendations. So again, let Janice know that you are with this program so she can make sure that she helps you get through the application process with no hiccups.
Here's the important dates. Don't look at the dates on the last slide. I noticed a little error there, but these dates are accurate. So you can begin registering for classes as early as March 19th, but you would want to be, if you want to start this summer with the TEFL certificate, enrolled prior to May 6th. We're offering the first or one of the courses in the TEFL certificate from May 6th to June 28th, fully online this summer. And then the second course will be July 1st through August 23rd, with 1 week or so of in-person classes, which would be the week of August 12th. And so those are the classes for the TEFL certificate. Immediately after that, if you wanted to continue on into the MA, you would continue with our online classes that start just a few days after August 23rd. You have the weekend off, and then the classes would begin right after that. So those are actually the key dates for starting with the summer term. Summer term starts May 6th, and reflective teaching has you teaching. One of the reasons we did that is because there's actually time where you're teaching in a classroom, and we wanted you to be able to work in your own classroom to earn that certificate. So those are all the slides that we prepared, and we are available to answer questions that you might have.
Thank you, Tasha and Mary and all the alumni and our grantees for sharing this wonderful information. I just have a quick questions about the um, registration time for the certificate only. For those who wanted to join the TEFL certificate, from the chart you presented is from March 19th. Do you have a time frame? When will be the deadline for sign up for the certificate only?
So as long as you're in time for the first day of class, which is on May 6th, then you should be okay. You would want to get your application in and have it processed, which can take a week or so. Once everything is complete, it takes a week for the review and to get you into the program. So if by the end of April, you were fully admitted, then you would be good to go to start the online program. Technically, you can join within the first week, but it just makes it a little bit more difficult if you miss the first few days of a course. So we definitely want to get you in there by May 6th.
Great, great. Thank you, Tasha. So for the people who wants to earn their TEFL certificate only, they can apply it before the class started in May. So maybe by the end of April. And for those who like to apply the MA program, how would the timeline look like?
Actually the same. If you wanted to start with the TEFL certificate this summer, then it would be those same dates. If somebody wanted to wait and start the program in the fall, that's a possibility. But it's nice to earn that certificate and then move into the master's program. We do have a fall start, which would be the 26th of August.
Okay. So for some of you, if you are selected and receive the notifications from Fulbright that you are eligible and that you are selected to be our ETF next year, the timeline might be look like we will give out the announcement by the end of March or early April. And then afterwards, you can apply directly to APU, and then you can receive a quick admission process. Maybe it will take 1 to 2 weeks. Is that correct? Okay. So yeah. Tasha, you want to say something about that?
Just confirming that what you said is correct.
Okay. So if you are interested, after you admit to our program as an ETF, immediately you can apply to APU, and then you will receive admissions notification within 1 to 2 weeks with all the documents that required. Yeah, and then you can start a program either in May, or you can start a program in fall, which is August 26th, and it's online. Yeah. Any questions, or you wanted to add any information? Jordan, any? Elena?
I remember last year, since it was like the first year for this dual program, that we weren't able to do the TESOL certificate just because there weren't enough of us. So what is the like the number that that we need in order to have that class available?
So we'd like to have at least 6 students, ideally,
at least
so you
6.
have students to interact with. But I think this summer we'll probably run it no matter what.
Okay.
Hopefully with more than 6, because there are 3 of you already in the program, and we want to make sure you have that class. So we'll for sure run the classes this summer.
Okay, thank you.
I think some of you, if you are not planning to become our ETF Plus or to become a foreign English teacher in Taiwan, so if you only want to get a master degree, you don't need to worry about the in-person course that we offer. You can just skip that. You can just follow the regular train that Tasha just showed us all the courses. And then you can take all the courses online. You can still get a master degree. And the only in-person training for the TESOL certificate requirement is for our Taiwanese government only, that you wanted to pursue as a foreign English teacher, or you wanted to become our ETF Plus with more stipends. And once you earn the certificate in summer, we will switch your grant immediately to the ETF Plus level. Any questions for our grantee? You want to ask any questions? Sounds like we covered everything.
I also don't mind putting my email in the group chat if someone wants to ask something later.
Okay. Yeah, we will accompany that with our video clip. Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. I think we will end the session here today. And if you are welcome to share the presentations, we can send it to the people who are interested or share with our coordinator internally so they can pass on and discuss with our grantees. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It was great
Thank
seeing
you.
everybody.
Good to see everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Jordan and Anne.